We all have people who've inspired us in some way in our life or our business or our dreams or our goals or whatever. But the one gentleman I think of the most that maybe inspired me to write the book that I wrote, to help train and teach in the style in which I do today, is Todd Rose. And many of you may not know Todd, but Todd wrote a book called The End of Average. And behind the scenes and the research and wisdom of Todd, and what he shared with me is there is no average. So this pursuit of average ends up. And one of the stories that Todd teaches is about a professor at the University of Chicago named Benjamin Bloom. And he did a study back in the early 80s, and they took two groups of kids, and they taught one group of kids a subject that they didn't know in one way based on the average way they teach curriculum to children. The other group, they taught them the same subject that they had no knowledge of. But there was no average way of teaching. There was no read this book by this date and do this quiz and get this score. What they did was you learn this and take the amount of time you need. And some kids took 30 minutes to learn it, and some kids took 30 days, and some kids took 30 hours. And at the end of this study that Dr. Bloom conducted, they wanted to see which group of kids mastered the topic. So in this average way of teaching, the first group, 20% of the kids achieved mastery. And in the non-average way, 90% achieved mastery by not teaching kids based on the way the average child learns. So to end, this pursuit of average ends up fitting nobody. If you want a book that may help change your life like it did for me, please research Todd Rose and give it a read, and it may change your life as well.